Okay, today we're going to be making some sweet potato and chickpea crock pot curry. This is a very easy dish to do, fairly inexpensive. I mean, the most expensive thing is going to be your coconut milk here, and maybe to get some spices or what have you, but the spices are pretty easy. And the spices, we're going to have some garlic, some red cayenne pepper, oregano. I know it's not a classic Indian spice, but I like earthiness it gives. We're gonna have some smoked paprika, some curry powder, and a little bit of ground cumin, and that's the spices. Pretty easy, straightforward. We're gonna use about a heaping tablespoon, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of tomato paste. And then I like to use a can of Rotel, whatever brand or whatever. It's just tomatoes and green chilies. And it's going to have 3 cans of coconut milk, 2 cans of chickpeas, rinsed, drained, and washed to get all the excess salt off. Take the chickpeas and rinse them. Very good. You want to get all the juice out of there. I'm going to give them a good rinse because you want to get all the excess salt out of the chickpeas. And 3 large orange sweet potatoes. And that's the basics of the ingredients. Also, when we fry up the spices, I made this. This is homemade coconut oil. It's delicious. You can use it for just about anything. And I absolutely love this stuff. And we're also going to need about half an onion. Just a sweet onion, red onion, whatever onion you like. Next step is to peel the sweet potatoes and chop those up. And I like to go for 1 inch by 1 inch cubes, somewhere in that area. So we have our sweet potatoes peeled. You don't have to peel them, just wash them up real good. So we got our sweet potatoes chopped up. Either way. So now we're gonna turn on the stove. You want a medium-high heat. You want to get that stove nice and hot. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by adding, I'd say roughly a good tablespoon of oil. You can omit this if you want, or you can use a little bit of olive oil. The only reason I use it is to fry up the garlic and to basically fry up the spices, because whenever you fry up spices like these, they release their oils and then become even more potent, which is, it's amazing the smell it gives off. So once again, we're going to have curry powder, a little bit of oregano, and in the link in the description, I'll give exact descriptions of how much. It's in the pan. Add our oil. Basically, we're just going to put all the spices and garlic in. Get all that goodness in there. And you're going to want to be around this. All you're looking to do is just toast them and just bring out those flavors. This doesn't even take a minute, which is great. Next, we add in our 3 cans of the coconut milk. So we're going to get that in there. Just give it a good stir. And basically all you're doing here is just to allow the coconut milk to get heated up and to concentrate just a little bit. You want to make this nice and creamy and get all the spices off the bottom of the pan, because that's where a lot of the flavor is, in the bottom of the pan. And then next up, we're going to do our heaping tablespoon of the tomato paste. We got our big heaping tablespoon of tomato paste, and Just put it all in there. And side note, if you don't want to cook all this first, you can throw it all in the crock pot. I just like the way the flavors come out. The spices come more vibrant and alive whenever you heat them up separate from the crock pot. I know this kind of defeats the purpose, but whenever you do this step, it really makes the curry and all the spices just absolutely come alive with flavor. Because all you're doing is just bring this coconut milk. And we only let this cook for maybe a minute or two, just to kind of heat things up. In the meantime, we're gonna get our onion chopped up, and that's gonna go in the crock pot along with the chickpeas and the sweet potatoes. Next up, we're going to put the sweet potatoes and onion, and this is about a half an onion, chopped up loosely. I mean, it doesn't have to be a fine chop or anything like that. It's all going to dissolve and get real soft and taste absolutely delicious. Along with the garbanzo beans, we can go ahead and throw those in there. Go ahead and get this thing on high, and then we'll go ahead and add in the tomatoes with the green chili. And if you want more onion, feel free. You can add as much onion or as little onion as you want. I just think it adds a really good flavor to it. And then after we add the sweet potatoes and onions, we're going to add in, this has been boiling up for about a minute, and we're going to go ahead and turn it off. Just let it sit there and simmer up. When you pour your coconut milk mixture into the crock pot, you will have a little bit of bits in the bottom. Make sure you get all this. This is all the really good, delicious flavor. Make sure you get all, and if you can, kind of like scrape where this, the flavor ring is. Make sure you get all those little bits of garlic in the pan or in the crock pot. This is the easy part. Pro tip, make sure everything is submerged so nothing will get dry and dry out. So once you like it, and if you need to, you can add a little bit of vegetable stock just to cover everything, but I'm happy with this. Next up, put the lid on. We have it on high, and we're gonna let it cook for about 5 to 6 hours until the sweet potatoes are completely soft and delicious. That's it. That is crock pot curry with chickpea and sweet potatoes. So I serve my basmati with some basmati rice and the finished product. And this is crock pot coconut milk curry with sweet potatoes and chickpeas. Enjoy. So delicious.